Good afternoon, welcome back to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, my name is Reese Peace from KFC or Wookie Triple XL, and we'll be reviewing the new LG Ultra Gear monitors. We've got the 24-inch and the 27-inch. Now, they are quite similar in a number of ways. I'd like to check those off the list first. But before I even get into that, I have to say, the way that this 27 came packaged, it was almost, I'd say, criminal that I didn't film the peel off the monitor. It's got like two protective layers on the front of the monitor when you get it out of the packaging. There's one like wrapped around plastic, and then still a full peel like plastic sheet cover that you would see normally on like a glass side panel on a case or something to that effect. It comes packaged like that, which was absolutely phenomenal. And it is extremely pretty. Both of them are actually quite attractive, and in their physical sort of setup department, there's really not much for me to critique. The similarities continue into things like their stands. Both of them have this sort of V-shaped setup stand, and both with just a little bit of red embossed onto them to make sure that you know it's gaming and it's LG, which I actually quite like. It's a nice little touch. The back setup, I like the round sort of shape that's on it. The 27 does have a headphone stand on the back of it as well, which I find quite useful for channeling cables as well over the back of the desk, etc. It actually made it look quite a lot nicer visually from the front. Those cables that would normally sort of sit there and then just poke up into the monitor were highly out of the way. Both of them as well have adapters. They have external power supplies. Both of them are rated for about 30 watts. The 27 actually has a 48 watt charger, and then this has a 39 watt adapter. So they actually have quite a bit of headroom, which is really good because it means that this adapter is not going to be sitting on its limit right throughout its lifetime. So its longevity is going to be just a little bit better. And those improvements, I mean 10 watts on 30, if you're doing the quick maths, that's 30% power provision headroom. About the only thing physically that I didn't like was right at the back of the stand at the bottom. There's a little bit of like, almost like poor cast seams from building that stand, but that's extremely nitpicky and literally the only thing physically that I could see that was like a defect, etc. on the monitors. It's not really, a major thing, but worth noting. I like to give you guys all the info. Both of these monitors, like their previous brethren, have got joystick setups. I've been using an LG M77 for the better part of a year, and that's absolutely fantastic with the joystick. And now these OSDs look the part as well. They are much more convincing. Another thing that they share is something called DAS, Dynamic Action Sync. And what that does is try to further reduce latency. It does actually mess with the panel's color delivery quite a bit, and I found that with it on and with it off, the performance was almost exactly the same. I had absolutely no problems with them. I used the 27-inch for the most part though, because my M77 has literally the exact same panel that this does. The major difference is there being that the M77 has a full tilt and periscope neck, so that is a nice to have, but not having it does mean that the price is significantly at least reduced. In South Africa, it's down 1,200 Rand. So this is 3,400 Rand for this 24-inch 144 Hz. And to get a panel like that at that price is near impossible. There's no other brand in South Africa that's offering it at that price with a 3-year warranty. But now moving on to the 27-inch, which really is the hero of our tale here today, because for 5,800 Rand, it has G-Sync, proper G-Sync, not just adaptive FreeSync, which has now been made compatible. It's NVIDIA certified G-Sync and HDR10. I must say the HDR of the two sort of feature sets that are big brand sort of feature sets on here was okay. It's not bad. It's definitely, I don't think it's as nice as the gaming modes were. The Gamer 2 mode was by far the best color palette wise, color warmth, etc. And after I did a little bit of fiddling in NVIDIA control panel, as I normally do with digital vibrance, etc., it came out super well. The things that these LGs do really well that a lot of monitors don't do is their contrast control. So a lot of the times when you put brightness into a monitor, it tends to wash the colors out and makes them quite hollow and unappealing. But with this monitor, for instance, if you give it a little bit of contrast, actually dip the brightness slightly, it comes out of the box with 100 on the brightness, absolutely maxed out, which was quite retina burning, all things considered, and it's quite a norm actually with LG monitors. I have a friend who had two of the earlier 1440p 60 hertz variants, and they can be extremely bright, but dropping that brightness down slightly, adding a little bit of contrast, the digital vibrance effect is incredibly good. And what happens on a lot of cheaper panels, so when you pump the digital vibrance, the colors actually start to leak out from their points. So where they would normally sort of be housed in a model, like even for instance my shirt, right, this orange where it transfers into the white over here, it would leak over the edge slightly and become like almost like blurry in effect. None of that happens over here. You can actually max the slider. It does look a little bit ridiculous when you do on the digital vibrance, and that's actually a good thing because it gives you some color palette headroom to be able to work with. As I said, this also comes with a full periscope neck, which is extremely nice to have. It allows you to have the monitor at a good posture height. Instead of you sort of hunching over the top of it, you can now keep your posture and get your eye line exactly in line with the monitor like that effectively. And having that on this panel and this monitor is absolutely fantastic. I did find the base a little bit intrusive. It is quite long, but then with the periscope neck, because I could set it further back on my table, to get my mouse pad and everything around it, I actually became extremely comfortable extremely quickly. Instead of having a 24 where you're sitting literally on top of the thing, with the 27 you get the same kind of viewing size but further back from the monitor, which is better for your health, your eyes, your posture, etc. And to have a G-Sync panel at 5.8K, yes, it is a 1080p, and there was a little bit of that graininess from it being 1080p on a 27 because of your pixels per inch. But if I played 4K video back on it, or used NVIDIA DSR factors to increase the resolution to 1440p or 4K, it looked absolutely fantastic. And as I was playing some CS yesterday, quite late into the evening, as I tend to normally do, it was sublime. I was hitting shots left, right and center. Actually got to rank 1 on Kato's retakes. That's my old home. What's up? Look, it was just really good. People actually thought that I was on 240 hertz because of the shots I was hitting, but it just how comfortable the monitor made me feel on it. And I've been speaking about this monitor actually in daily deals or top 10 Tuesdays quite a lot, and I was like, it looks really good on paper, right? And now that I've used it, one of the easiest suggestions I can make, for the price of most brands' premium sort of 24-inch or 25-inch monitors, you can get a 27-inch with 144 hertz refresh rate. I used it on the 5 millisecond gray to gray, absolutely no problems there. It's a kind of a con with that as well, because all colors on 8 millisecond, so even a 1 millisecond quoted response time is literally just the gray to gray time. And if it's sub 8 on your gray to gray, it means your color is going to be at 8 anyway. And you're not going to see 8 milliseconds because on the quick maths, there's 1,000 of those in a second. So you're not going to be able to differentiate 5 versus 1. I can guarantee you that. On a 240 hertz panel though, I will say it does make a little bit of a difference to have it. But on a 140, on anything under 240, it's honestly irrelevant because there's not enough hertz actual refresh rate from the screen for it to become impactful. All in all then, LG Ultra Gear monitors, they're fantastic. At the price point, they're very good. They do have some premium features here and there when you need it. Between the two, if you were on the edge about deciding, I would steer you towards the 27-inch just for that G-Sync compatibility. If you've got a high-end NVIDIA card and you can run a lot of like esports titles like CS and Dota, etc. at 1440p, then do that. It's going to look absolutely fantastic. And yes, this with a 1440p panel, I think would just be even better, but then you're going to drive price point up, right? So all in all, I think LG's done a really good job with these. I think they've hit the money on budget 144 hertz gaming with these two, and with a 3-year warranty, just a 10 out of 10 from me. Anyway, that is all we have time for today. If you have enjoyed this, then hit us up with a like and subscribe. I'll see you on the flip side. And I find it hard to let go. Memories Both of these monitors